Hi, this is Dana Berenson, and we are back with Ask the Vet. Here we are with Tony O'Hara and Baxter the dog. So today's topic is ticks and fleas. With the spring around the corner, owners have a lot of questions around ticks and fleas. I'm going to start with some flea questions and then some questions about ticks. And I know that I have a lot of concerns about ticks in Maine. As a veterinarian, you must be asked tons of questions about ticks and fleas.
Definitely. It's probably one of the most popular topics.
Um, are you seeing a lot more ticks and flea action these days compared to past years?
I would say it's about the same. I don't think there's been a huge increase necessarily. It's always been a heavy populated area for both fleas and ticks. So,
Perfect. So I'm going to start with fleas. Can you give me a little info about fleas and what they can do to your pet?
sure. So fleas are active more or less year round, which a lot of people mistakenly think that they're only active when it's warm out. But unfortunately, they're very good at hitching a ride and finding their way inside, especially during the winter. So even people with indoor cats will often come in and actually discover that their cat has fleas. And that's usually because something or someone has tracked the fleas in. The most common flea that we have around here is the cat flea. So they do prefer to live on cats, but they will definitely live on a dog as well. The majority of the flea life cycle actually takes place in your house, though. So the action on your animal is only part of the problem. So when we treat a pet for fleas, we use products that will both help prevent egg laying, but also kill all of the life cycle that's also taking place in your house. Which is why it's good to come in and talk to us to get a good product that's actually going to be able to do that. And it takes several months sometimes to get rid of the problem because they'll often have repeated hatching of eggs about every 3 weeks, depending on the weather a little bit. So you really have to be diligent about doing it every month in order to get rid of a flea problem or to prevent a flea problem in general. You've got to be good about doing a product every month and really even through the winter time.
That is daunting to try to get rid of them when they get into your home.
Yeah, it's bad, and they can bite you, and they can cause problems in that way too.
So just say your dog goes to daycare and comes back with a flea infestation. What are some of the symptoms you'll see on dogs and cats or in bunnies and whatever?
Yeah, so sometimes you might not notice anything. If it's a low infection, then you might not notice anything, unfortunately, and that's kind of where the danger comes in, is because then they're laying lots of eggs in your house, and then next thing you know, you've got an explosion of fleas. But if an animal's allergic to fleas, which actually is pretty common, they can actually break out in scabs, usually down their back, and definitely kind of near their hips and their tail, can get really scabby and crusty and horrible, and they can be really, really itchy with it. If you part your animal's hair and you see what almost looks like a little bit like black pepper specks, that's flea dirt. That's a telltale sign too that you've got a flea problem.
Flea dirt, that is good to know. So you find that you have flea dirt and your pup has scabs or your cat. So now here comes the treatment part. What are some of the treatments, and also what are some flea preventatives?
So we use our preferred products are for cats. We have a feline Brevecto, which is a topical that you put on. It lasts for 12 weeks, which is great. There's also probably our favorite product is Revolution, and they actually are just coming out with a Revolution Plus, which is going to be the best product on the market because it's going to have the ability to kill both fleas and ticks on your cat, which is really great. We're excited about that. You apply that to the back of the neck on any animal, about right here. You part the hair, squeeze the product on, let it dry, and you're good to go. For dogs, there's a chewable version. Brevecto is one, and also Simparica is a monthly chewable product. You give it like a treat. Simparica lasts for a month. Brevecto lasts for 12 weeks. And the product itself, I'll show you if you want. It's like It's like a chewy treat. Oh, we lost my demo dog. I don't think you're gonna. Let's see. So it's about that big. And
it's like the size of a dime.
Yeah, they're usually like beef or pork flavored, so most dogs will eat them pretty happily. So that makes it kind of easier to put on. And then there's a topical called Vectra, which we have. You twist it, and this one you actually apply it right up the back, so from the tail to the head. Do you want me to go grab him? I'll go grab him. Give me your back.
Baxter he's making his great escape, and
here we go.
We've got him back.
So, okay. Sorry, buddy. Okay, so with the Vectra, because of the applicator, you can kind of just set it on the skin and then you run it right up the back while you're squeezing it. So pretty easy. Again, you have to kind of let it dry. The downside to the topicals is that if your dog does a bunch of swimming, it will wash off more quickly and lose its efficacy. I personally am a big fan of the Simparica. I use that monthly with both my dogs and have not had a problem with fleas.
Awesome. Well, thank you so much on this, because I know this is something that a lot of people have to deal with. And thanks, Baxter, for being our demo dog, even though you tried to escape. And I'm going to stop this here, and we're going to do our next one on ticks.